Welcome to the City of Glendale Civil Service Commission meeting for November 8, 2023. May we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Hatamian,
Here.
Commissioner Reen,
Here.
Chair Gazarian.
Here, thank you. Before we move to the next item, let me welcome Dennis Reen to the commission. It's good to have you because this evening is a prime example of why we need someone like you, because but for you, we wouldn't be able to proceed. It would be only Commissioner Hatamian and myself, because our two other fellow commissioners, one is out of town, the other one is unavailable. So welcome. We will have an opportunity to get to know each other, and I'm sure you will be a welcome asset to this body. Thank you. Next item, please.
Minutes, consideration for the minutes of October 11th, 2023 meeting.
I would think that we would have to table that because we would not have a quorum, because Commissioner Reen wasn't here last time. Next item, please.
Oral communications. I do not have any calls on the phone, nor do we have any cards.
That's fine. So next item, please.
Recruitment and examination report.
Thank you. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, this is the regular recruitment and examination status report, which represents the current recruitments in process and that our team is currently working on. You'll notice that our team has 72 open recruitments at this time, and they are in various stages of the examination and selection process, and the report reflects those stages. This is a note and file item. However, if the commission has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Any questions?
No questions.
Having heard none, next item, please.
Eligible list established.
Thank you. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, the subject before the commission is the regular report that includes all of the eligible lists that were recently established since our last meeting in October. This report includes the total number of applications and the number of individuals that advanced through the various stages of our examination process. Since our last meeting, we have had a total of 11 lists that were established. 7 were open to the public, 4 were given on a promotional basis. This is also a note and file item. However, if the commission has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. Thank you. Next item, please.
Class specification for approval, fleet compliance manager.
Thank you. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair and members of the commission, we are present today to request your endorsement to amend the class specification for fleet compliance manager position. The specification was initially presented to you in August of 2023, just a few months ago, but we noticed a minor change that we are seeking to make. The role of fleet compliance manager is a crucial mid-management level within the Public Works Department, and they coordinate both field and office duties. The responsibilities ensure adherence to the city's fleet compliance mandates, which includes the management of underground and above-ground petroleum storage tanks, vehicle fuel, liquid storage, and waste disposal. There are licenses that we would like to be, for our candidates to have as a desired license, but the way the class specification was written earlier, it read as though we wanted it to be mandatory. So we want our candidate pool to be robust, of course, but we are suggesting adding that the Above Ground Petroleum Storage Act certification is desirable or preferred. We have the fire department and we have certified contractors that primarily perform the above ground storage tank inspections anyway. Now, the Glendale Management Association has been apprised of our proposal for the revision, and they have not raised any objections. So in light of that, we do seek your approval. As is with the last time we brought this before you, we have the Assistant Director of Public Works, Kevin Todd, here, along with HR staff, and they'd be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Very well, thank you. Any questions?
I do have one question. Was the certification required in previous examinations for the same title classification? Do we know?
Well, this was a newly created class specification that we
Okay.
brought to you in August, so there wasn't anything previous to that.
Previous to this? Okay, got it.
One question, so there is personnel in the fire department that has this particular APSA certification, so they can bring that to bear during the inspection process?
That is correct.
Good evening, Commissioners. Welcome aboard, Commissioner Rin.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission. So, yes, that is correct. The current duties above ground inspections are currently performed by a contractor, and civilian personnel from the fire department are also eligible to perform those duties. So therefore, we don't need that for this position.
Any other questions? This requires a vote, correct?
Yes.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hatamian,
Yes.
Commissioner Reen,
Yes.
Chair Gazarian.
Yes, thank you. Next item, please.
Class specification for approval, Human Resources Compliance and Operations Manager.
Thank you. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, we present for your approval the recently developed class specification for the position of Human Resources Compliance and Operations Manager. In recent years, the Human Resources Department has undergone operational changes while remaining committed to upholding compliance as a foundational responsibility. In response to these evolving demands, we propose the introduction of the Human Resources Compliance and Operations Manager classification. This role will play a pivotal part in planning, coordinating, and overseeing compliance and operational functions for our department. They will be a key member of our management team and also will carry the responsibility of ensuring that we fully comply with new Senate bills or Assembly bills, namely a few before us now, Senate Bill 616, 700, 848, and 559, and Assembly Bill 2188. They will also monitor any new legislation in the pipeline and will be instrumental in generating innovative ideas and implementing programs to make sure that we do comply with new legislation. It's important to note that this position falls under the exempt category within the Glendale Management Association. However, as a matter of courtesy, we have shared the proposed class specification with the GMA, and they had no objections. So we are asking that you approve the newly established class specification for Human Resources Compliance and Operations Manager as submitted. We have myself here and our Deputy HR Director, and we're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any questions? I have a question. Refresh my recollection, if you would. I see no salary specifications. And is that because after approval, then it becomes a job bulletin that then comes back again here for us?
No. So after you approve the class specification, then to set the salary, we have to go before the City Council.
Yes. This doesn't come back to us.
It does not come back to you, no.
All right, very well, thank you. If there, go ahead.
Just one comment, not a question. On the education and training, we have a typo. I think it says filed, it should be field. I don't know if this is, if we approve that this is the official record, so I don't know if that should be changed now or. But education and training, master's degree in a related field.
Okay, so when we have a motion on the table with that fixing that typo, then we
Yeah,
can
well,
change it.
let me inquire further, because what Commissioner Green raised, oddly enough, is what I had circled. So, can you please articulate one more time for me what it is that you thought ought to be different there? Because I looked at it, and what I saw was experience 5 years of recent and progressively responsible experience, 2 years of which must include supervising staff.
Right.
And I was thinking, I don't know how quickly can somebody within 5 years already acquire 2 years of supervisory experience, or is that a 5-year minimum? And it could very well mean that most people would have more than 5 years, but you just put the minimum as 5 years.
The minimum is 5 years. However, you could gain supervisory experience in another
In another field.
classification outside of the city in the private sector.
Okay. So then, returning to my fellow commissioner's observation, I failed to pay close enough attention to know what you meant, Commissioner Green. Something about sealed.
No, it's just a typographical error.
Where?
Master's degree, education and training, below,
Yes.
master's degree in a related field.
Yield.
How,
It's just
in
a
a
type-
related, oh, field,
It's
as
just a
opposed to
typo.
filled, got it,
Yes.
yes, oh, wow, that's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I thought I was good at proofreading, but I wasn't looking at this with that in mind, that's excellent. Thank you, yes, is that a motion?
I would just say, that's a typographical error. You don't need to incorporate that into the motion. We'll
Oh.
just fix that.
Okay, very well. Okay, with that understanding, is that a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hatamian,
Yes.
Commissioner Reen,
Yes.
Chair Gazarian.
Yes, thank you. Next item, please.
Reports and information, employee job performance evaluations, past due aging report.
Thank you. Ms. Adams?
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, before you is an informational report on performance evaluation and the return status for the city of Glendale. As you can see, the response rate is very good. At the time of the agenda's posting, there was one evaluation on the second notice list, but that evaluation has now been served by me. And there are no past due evaluations on the second notice list. If the commission has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, this is a note and file item.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions.
No questions. Hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Adams. Next item, please.
Civil Service Commission comments, and Civil Service Commissions and staff comments.
Thank you. I once again want to welcome Commissioner Green to this body. I've been here over a decade now. I would like to say I lost hair, but I didn't have hair when I got here. It's an extremely rewarding responsibility, one that at times may put you perceptually at odds between employees versus departments, but as long as you stay true to your own convictions, that's been my saving grace. We can't make everybody happy, and sometimes when some people are not happy, that means we're doing our job and our responsibility fully. So I welcome you, and I look forward to your continued engagement, as some of us who've been here a long time hopefully fade away in the near future. Thank you. Thank you for being here. No other comments? No comments, Mr. Kwan?
No,
You
Mr.
told me
Chair.
there was only 2 agenda items, and it was actually more than 2 agenda items, but we're doing very well on time, so if there's nothing further, I think next item would be a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.